Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Premier League Blitz podcast. This week, we'll be looking through the results from last week, our team of the week from last week, and the results ahead for next week, as well as the cup fixtures. So, we're going to start off with a new addition to the Premier League, which we hadn't spoke about because obviously last week they didn't get properly promoted, but this week they have Coventry City. Welcome back. I think you've been quality this season in the Championship. I think with a few more additions, I think you could be like a Leeds or a Sunderland. I think you've got the club size for it, and I'm excited to have you back. What do you think, Callum?
Well, I'm sure anyone who watches Blitz regularly saw that I interviewed a Coventry fan. He was actually a big help with university work as well. What a guy. Honestly, the way he talked about Coventry, the way he talked about the fan base, obviously the little scheme they have going on to try and get as many of their fans on season tickets as possible. I think they have a bright future. They have a bright fan base. I think they could stay up. I think it's between Ipswich and Coventry staying up next season. I think one of them will stay because I think out of the three that go down, whoever goes down, Forest or West Ham will go down next season. Unless Spurs stay up, Spurs won't be in the question. Just the one who doesn't go down are Forest.
I agree, and I think Coventry have the players to make that step up now. I think Jack Rodoni's probably been ready for the last few years.
I like Van Ewijk.
Yeah, Milan Van Ewijk, and then Ewijk. And then we've got Carl Rushworth if they get him back from on loan. I think that'll be a big one for him because he's brilliant.
If they can keep Hadji right, I think they'd be brilliant. Obviously, West Ham are sniffing around him. I don't see why he'd go to West Ham because there's a lot more competition there. You got Tati Castellanos, you got Pablo, Jared Bowen. You got there's quite a bit of competition there. Whereas at Cov, the fans love you. You're nailed on starting the Premier League, and if you do well, you can then and they go down. If you do well, you'll get like a move to like an Everton or something where you're like there's less competition for a start because he starts for Everton.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he's really good, and I think making that step up he probably could. I think he suits the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I think they'll need more players like anyone does coming up. But I think they've got the foundations there to be a good Premier League side if they do well in the transfer window.
They'll be a good side. I think they've got that about them. I think. I don't. This is going to upset CJ if he sees this. I don't think Lampard's long term for him. I think Lampard, he's one of those managers that, like, when he doesn't have money, he does so well. But then with money, he just kind of shits the bed of it. Like, you think of him at Chelsea. When he had no money because of the transfer ban, he brought up Mount, he brought up Abraham, he brought up all those brilliant players. But as soon as he got money, he just peed it up the wall, stopped using those youth players other than Mount because he's like his son. And I don't know. I have a little worry with Coventry that now Lampard's going to have like 100 million Premier League money. He's going to spend it on someone stupid. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he went and got like Mason Mount on loan because Mount needs to get out of United and playing under the manager who give him everything, give him his career. It would make sense.
Yeah, I agree, and I do think Lampard probably isn't suited to the Premier League, and we've seen that. And hopefully for Coventry fans that he can make that step up now. He's had that experience in there with your Chelsea and your Everton. But I don't think he's right, and I think it could be a shout to be gone early in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Similar to Gerrard, did really, really well at Rangers, maybe in a less competitive league. Like the Championship is very competitive, don't get me wrong, and it's probably harder to get out of than to stay up in the Premier League, in my opinion. But I just think that step up is a big, big, big step up. It ain't no small step up, and I think it could struggle.
I don't think the leagues are comparable. I think obviously there's more games in the Championship, but the level of football in the Premier League is like unleveled. Look at Burnley. In the Championship, they were unstoppable, like 100 points. Both you and Burnley got 100 points. You look all right, but like Burnley look atrocious. Yeah. They've gone from probably the most solid defence that EFL's seen in years to one that could probably be walked through by the average like Cherky or bits. Like you take like a big Cam from one of the big teams, he just walks through their defence.
Yeah, it's a big step up, I think. And speaking of step ups, Leeds United 3, Wolves 0. That's your step up.
That's your step up. Let's go relegate Wolves.
Yeah.
Good on you.
But after that result and the Bournemouth draw as well, which you didn't really expect anything from, to be honest, and we didn't play well at all. And I think 9 points clear of Spurs now. I think that's absolutely huge, and that probably should be us safe.
It should be. I mean, to be fair, if you go down and take a I would say a miracle from the other teams. Like it's looking like Spurs at the moment, which I never thought I'd see Spurs go down as they helped us get that Champions League a couple of years ago with the most obvious handball I've ever seen. But I don't know. I feel like Leeds, when they come up, I was always sure they'd stay up. I feel like you stayed in Championship for too long. I think you come up. I think the players you have are Premier League level. I thought Farke could hold you back. He's turned it around. And I feel like the Red Bull money. I thought if you were ever in the trouble of going down, I feel like Red Bull would have just sent their entire team on loan to you. Like they probably would have sent like their entire Leipzig team just to make sure you stay up.
I don't think the Red Bull is the sponsor. They aren't properly owners.
Yeah, but they're trying to like.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a say as people think over Leeds.
They don't have that much to say. To be fair to them, they are gradually expanding their influence with the plan to basically make Leeds another Red Bull club. Obviously, I don't think they'll get to the point where it's Red Bull Leeds, but I do think it'll get to the point where Red Bull run the club.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe, you can see with Leipzig and Salzburg, it's probably a good thing. And I do think with Pragmantha, who's the 49ers owner as well, who owns us, his plan is to grow the revenue in the next 5 years, then sell us. He's openly said that, so maybe that is to Red Bull.
What a guy.
But is what it is. If we stay up and become established Premier League side, then you can't. And then moving on to Liverpool versus Everton for you. 2-1. Virgil van Dijk in the last minute.
And never in doubt. I just knew it'd happen. Like, Everton were atrocious. I mean, I say atrocious. They just. Well, I've said this for years. Everton go to the derby like it's a Champions League final. They don't care about any game this season. If they played like they do in the Merseyside derby across the whole season, they'd get Europe every season. But it's almost like they're lethargic for the whole season just to come and play at Goodison or what is it now, Hill Dickinson. I thought the performance was laughable, especially Iliman and Ndiaye going, "We built this city," just for his goal to be ruled out offside and us to score a minute later. Just learn your place. Honestly, what a game.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie Woodman making his debut, I was worried, to be fair, because we weren't the best either. Our defence was a bit poor. I think Virgil was good. Like, Virgil kept us in the game at many points. I feel like genuinely one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. Like, he even after Pickford destroyed his ankle, he's still like, he seems to get better, weirdly. I don't think he'll ever have a better season when when no one like dribbled past him, where Arsenal fans justified Nicolas Pepe's transfer fee because he dribbled past Van Dijk. Like that's mad.
I agree, and to be honest, I love him as a Leeds fan, and I think probably me and you generation is probably Van Dijk and Sergio Ramos who were the best centre-backs. And you can't really, there's no one else that really gets a look in, probably since your Rios and your Terrys, but again in 2010 they're not. I
got to be honest, Terry and Rio are nowhere near Van Dijk and Ramos. I don't mean to be awful. Terry's near them, Rio's nowhere near him. I don't mean to be awful to Rio. He's world-class generational centre-half, but I think if he played today he would have been a CDM because he's very much required, like destroyer CDM, to be next to him, and he's very much the type to go and wander and kind of get caught out. He was lucky that he played in a system that was very defensive and rounded, where he didn't really get the freedom to move up. If he got the freedom, I think he would have been found out and moved to midfield.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Van Dijk is probably the best, but maybe that's bias from me and you. You obviously been a Leeds fan, and then me growing up with Virgil van Dijk a bit more than watching Terry and Ferdinand. But
I rate Terry though, but I do think his reputation's damaged by his off the pitch antics.
Oh, he's awful, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's like Michael Owen. Them two should not be anywhere near talking about football because they've got no clue somehow for being so good footballers.
Yeah, Michael Owen has a Ballon d'Or. I grew up in a similarish area to him. I should like him, but no, we don't like him. I know I'll say a family story here. My family ran into him just before I was born. My dad bumped into him, and he got his security to tackle my dad. It's like, what a guy. Yeah, really. Michael Owen's security tackled me dad.
That's a good story then.
Yeah, I hope I make it in the career at some point, run into him and say, "Hey, would you like to apologise to my dad over the phone, you prat?" That'd be nah, he'd probably get security to tackle me.
Yeah, that wouldn't be ideal. But then Moving on anyway now to Chelsea. 2 games this weekend, lost 1-0 to Man United and then lost 3-0 to Brighton. That resulted on Liam Rosenior sacked, which probably isn't a surprise. I'd have probably liked them to do it after this weekend, after they played us, because I think, is it McFarlane?
Free win, honestly.
McFarlane came in. I'm pretty sure it's McFarlane, isn't it?
Callum McFarlane.
Callum McFarlane, he came in with City away and they got a good result 2-2 and they played really, really well. And that's a bit of an eye opener for Sunday, and maybe they do play really well under him, but hopefully not.
I do think he's a good manager, Callum McFarlane, but I feel like he's kind of holding himself back. I think he's probably got some link to Chelsea. He won't leave Chelsea, weirdly. I really do rate Rosenior as a manager. Like, I think he's probably the best manager England have at the moment, but a manager like him who cannot deal with egos should not be at a club with egos. It doesn't work. Like, sorry to cut you off there, but like Chelsea are in a state. Honestly, I think they need to sell half their team. Like Enzo Fernandez, his little stunt where he's like, I'd love to go play in Madrid. I'd love to go play in Madrid. And then his agent makes it out like, oh no, he didn't say he wants to play for Real Madrid. He just wants to live in Madrid. Like, no, he said he wants to play for Madrid. I feel like players like Enzo Fernandez need to be gone. Like, honestly, he's such a waste of money. I can't believe Liverpool wanted him. Like, he's a solid player, but for that money, you've just brought in a player whose ego does more than his ability. Like, he does more damage. Like, he completely shattered his relationship with half the team because half the team are French after he made that dodgy chant when playing for Argentina. Yeah. I feel like he's tore the team apart. But alongside him, you've got like Wesley Fofana, you've got Liam Delap. There's so many players that like their ego's up here, but their ability's here. Like Enzo's brilliant, but his ego's that high, it just deflates his ability completely.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they do need a big rebuild, and I think they should really, really, really go for Iraola. I think he's brilliant, and obviously Bournemouth, it's a big loss for Bournemouth, but I think he does deserve that bigger club chance. And I think with Chelsea and maybe a rebuild under him, selling Enzo Fernandez, you're going to get a good whack of money for him to reinvest. Wesley Fofana, he is rubbish. Get rid of him. You've got your Cole Palmer, Caicedo, your João Pedro, Chalobah. Even Chalobah, I think he's a decent player.
Interrupt, but did you say he's rubbish? I missed that because my audio cut out.
Wesley Fofana.
Oh, he's rubbish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets more points on his driver's license, and he gets points for Chelsea.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs to go for him. But I do think they need a rebuild, and they've only just probably had the rebuild in the last few years, which hasn't worked. But I do think they need that, and I think on Liam Rosenior, I think he will get another job in the Premier League, a bit further down. You could see him at an Everton maybe. Well, David Moyes won't go, but you see him at a decent Premier League club, and I think he will do well given the time.
I feel like he's a bit of a hipster appointment, and with it being a hipster appointment, with Herzler probably going to Leverkusen, unless Glasner goes to Leverkusen, I could see him at Brighton. It's his old club. I think he was there when they got promoted. So I think bringing an old player in as a manager, I feel like the only thing more hipster they could do is like give Milner the management job while he's still playing. But I'll be honest, I think he'll go back to Leeds this summer and like retire there, go become like part of Farke's staff. So I think he'll be Brighton manager next season because Herzler's leaving Brighton. That's just we know that he's not.
Yeah, so. He is good as well, and for so young as well to get a dressing room up for you at 31, 32-year-old to get a dressing room on your side and to be sixth in Premier League. It's a mega achievement, and I think his
player in his team is older than him. His best player is Welbeck, and he's older than him. That's unfathomable. It's like when Ryan Mason was at Spurs managing Gareth Bale. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, and then we've got Villa Sunderland 4-3 in the European hunt. What a game that was! Obviously, Sunderland scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes to get that level, and then Tammy Abraham to finish him off at the death. Very good game.
I want to give a shout because I didn't put him in my team of the week. Chris Riggs' goal. Oh my god! I remember when he come out of Sunderland's academy. I remember everyone was like hyping him up to be brilliant, and I was excited because I watched a bit of him in the Championship. I feel like everyone was talking about Joe Bellingham. I never saw it with him. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's never going to be in the dimension of his brother, and it's unfortunate because like he doesn't want to be seen in his brother that much that he's put his first name on his shirt. and but in trying to not be his brother, he's become his brother. Just gone to Dortmund, done nothing. He's had a decent second half at Dortmund, But Chris Rigg, he looks phenomenal. And since he's come to the Prem, they signed Siddiqui, Xhaka, and Diarra. He's not going to get in that team. They've been playing him on the wing when he's a centre mid. But I haven't seen it with him this season. But I know it's because he's young and he's not got in the team. But I feel like that's a thing of what's to come, if you know what I mean. I don't think Xhaka's long term. I think Xhaka's just for the now because he's quite old. Xhaka. I feel like they can adapt to a different system, like a 4-2-3-1 with Siddiqui and Diarra deeper with Rigg in front of them. I think if as long as Sunderland don't do something stupid like sack their manager for not getting Europe when you've just got promoted, ludicrous.
Yeah, and I think Siddiqui further back in the defensive midfield would be brilliant. I think he's a Kante type of player. He's just all over. He's fantastic, and I think at defensive midfield he'll just clean up.
I feel like they talk about Diarra more, but Siddiqui is just unreal. I think he's a top player. I feel like Sunderland are going to struggle to keep him over the long term, but if they can do the best with him now, maybe strengthen a bit and push for Europe next season, I think they'd be brilliant. I think they need offensive reinforcements because all through the season they've been playing Enzo Lafay and Chris Rigg on the wing, because the wingers they've signed just haven't worked. Shabstadine Talby's good, but he's a young player who's not going to get you those goals. They signed Traore, the Villa Traore. He's just not good enough. I don't even know who else has signed on the wing, to be honest.
They added Ingrid, didn't they? But then they shipped him off to Monaco in January. And then even up front, Brian Brobby's a good player, but he isn't going to score you 20 points a season.
Yeah, I feel like he'll go to League On or something in a year or two. He's not Premier League level Brian Brobby. And Isidore, I thought he'd be all right, but he's one of the most hit and miss players in the league. Completely lost his spot to Brobby.
Yeah, he's all right on the bench.
Yeah, but he's a squad player. I don't think Brobby will want to be a squad player because a couple of years ago, everyone was hyping him up to be some big thing when he's at Ajax, and now he's a bang average striker at Sunderland.
Yeah, and then moving on to the last one we're going to talk about from last week is the Man City games. Man City 2, Arsenal 1, and Man City 1, Burnley 0, which puts them at the top of the league on goals scored, which is massive for them. And I think they were brilliant against Arsenal. They set up perfectly. They attacked well, defended well, and then in that last 10 minutes when they were really under the cosh, I think they just kept the ball. And that's all you need to do against them. And they're brilliant. And a shout out to Nico O'Reilly as well. Fantastic. Every time I watch him, he's so good. He has to start this World Cup.
He's special. He's going to be when he's done in 15, 20 years, we're going to be talking about him for years. He's a phenomenal player. Wherever he plays as well. I remember when he first came out of the academy, he was attacking midfielder. Looked all right. Pep played him left back. It just screams Zinchenko. Putting a left-footed Cam at left back. You're kind of worried that Pep was ruining another youth player. Because he's already took a midfielder from the academy and put him right back with Rico Lewis. And Rico Lewis just doesn't look like he's going to make it because he just doesn't play. And another Pep thing, he's put another Cam at right back with Matthias Nunes. It seems to be a thing that he likes putting attackers at fullback. Strange one. It's kind of just a way to get another midfielder in. But no, he's solid defensively. He's brilliant in the air because he's quite big for a 19-year-old, isn't he? Quite a big lad. I think he's a solid player going forward. He's solid defensively. You saw when Donnarumma kind of went off his line, he ran onto the goal line. That's what a left back should do, but you'd be surprised how many left backs messed that up. For a 19-year-old left back, he's a solid choice. He's a bang-on choice for the England squad. For the last few years, we've had such a struggle with left backs. We've had to rely on Luke Shaw, who just can't keep himself fit, or Ben Chilwell, who's just not a very good footballer. 1 or 2 seasons, he's phenomenal, but since then, he lost his spot to Alonso, and he's just never been in that Chelsea team. And he's at Strasbourg now. I was what's happened there?
Yeah, I think we're lucky with the left backs. I think Nico O'Reilly and Lewis Hall, I think, are both really good. And I think Lewis Hall needs a better season next season, but that's down to Newcastle as well. But I think Nico O'Reilly does go in that left back spot for me. But I think
Lewis Hall,
great.
Sorry to interrupt. Lewis Hall's also had a phenomenal season, to be fair, but it's just Nico O'Reilly. He's just untouchable. No, for Man City, they looked the better team. Arsenal's defence was a laughing stock. They say defending wins the league. What the hell was that defending? I know it's the Etihad, and I know my team lost 4-0 there. but my team can't defend. Your team's the best defense in Europe. What the hell was that? So it's just Cherky, like, absolutely done Gabriel. What Gabriel? He's supposed to be the best defender in the world at the moment. He probably is, but like Cherky's just completely put him on his backside on live television.
Yeah, he lost his head the first 10 minutes against Haaland. When Haaland was just knocking him about, he lost his head, and it was just a battle with Haaland. Then he wasn't focusing on anything else on the pitch. It was just Haaland, which again is a good tactic. But when he's better than you, then you've lost the game. I think he did lose Arsenal the game by just going full throttle on Haaland. Should have probably been sent off. Haaland's done him a huge favour by not going down. Should have been sent off, ragging him all over the place, not really asked about anyone else on pitch. And then Cherky, as you saw, just had free roam, did him? Goal.
Yeah. I feel like Arsenal's team was a bit of a laugh as well. Like they have a few right backs. Why were they playing Mosquera right back? Like, he's a centre half. He's so like I don't mind Hincapie left back because he was a left back before Leverkusen moved him into a back three. So I can get Hincapie left back because I think he's a phenomenal player. But he did annoy me that game because that entire game he was just stinking up the gaff, just losing his head, like grabbing Haaland constantly. It amazes me Hincapie wasn't brought like into question for a sending off. But I don't know. I feel like Arteta's made his team so narrow by being so defensive that his team just can't create. They shouldn't have had a goal. That goal was like a 1 in a million against the best goalkeeper in the world. You're against Donnarumma, like without a doubt the best keeper in the world. He slips and you capitalise. Like if that didn't happen, Arsenal would have got like it would have been like 3-0. So Arsenal wouldn't have had that like 20 to 30 minute period where they could just sit back and defend for a draw. Like you're competing for the Premier League and you're playing for a draw. What are you doing? It's like he doesn't learn. He tried this last season at Liverpool, and it cost him. He tried it early in the season against Liverpool again at Anfield and cost him. He keeps going for draws. You can't be going for draws when you're in the Premier League title race, especially against Pep Guardiola. And one slip against Guardiola and it'll lose you the league, and Arsenal have slipped about 10 times. So if Arsenal win the league, honestly, it's a miracle.
I agree. I don't think they'll win it from now. And I think when they had the 30 minutes like you were just on about, I think that's when you need to capitalise. You need to get a few goals instead of just one, because it's not enough against Manchester City. If they had that 30 minutes against Leeds, if they had it against Burnley, if they had it against Forest, then they'd be 3-0 up. Simple as that. But against Man City, you need to put them chances away. Mm-hmm. And even Havertz at the end, that free header, and he's put it off at bar. Just get it on target. If keeper saves it and it's on target, then fair enough, you've got it on target, but it's over the bar. It's not good enough.
It's funny, Havertz has like a history of scoring against Man City, but I genuinely question how he's a top level footballer at times. Like a couple of years ago, he was supposed to be special. Chelsea, he looked all right, but he's just a donkey. He seems to have no athletic ability whatsoever. It's all the brain. He has the brain, but he loses his head. Like when he flew into Rodri, tore his ACL. It makes me question what's up with him. Like you won a Champions League with Chelsea, and then you're saying winning the Premier League of Arsenal would mean more. Like, are you dense?
Right. That said, now we'll move on to our team of the week. It's like last week, we do a team of the week from every week. So from last week, our team of the week, we'll start with a goalkeeper. Who have you got in?
I spent like an hour on this. No goalkeeper had a good week. I ended up going for Donnarumma because he was solid against Burnley, and he did save City a bit, to be fair. But I understand why you wouldn't put him, because that mistake that gave Arsenal that goal was horrific. Like, oh my god. But yeah, Donnarumma.
I've gone Donnarumma, and I put a slash for Caldalo, maybe just in there. I think he were excellent against Wolves, made a few great saves, and then against Bournemouth, he kept us in the game at times. I don't know if you watched it, but
I did watch
saves there, which were excellent. That one with his foot in the first, half were excellent. So I've got him a shout out, but I've gone Donnarumma in front of him.
Yeah, fair dues, Leeds fan. Right back, I couldn't think of a right back, so I included the Brighton-Chelsea game and went for Ferdi Kadioglu. I think he's a very good player. I think he needs to be played right back a bit more. I don't know if he played right back or left back that game, to be honest. But I think he was left back.
I've gone with a centre back that plays in our system, because I've gone with two centre backs in there. other than him, I put James Justin at right back. I think he's excellent. He's so good. He's so good, and he's in shout for our player at season 100%. And I think for £8 million, it's an absolute steal. And then for him to score an overhead kick, it's absolutely mad. So I put him in at right back.
I thought about putting James for centre back. I've gone for kind of a dash, either Gahey or James Justin. The only reason why is James Justin does he really work in a 2 centre back system, but his team of the week doesn't really matter. I would say James Justin / Gahey, because I think Gahey was solid, but like nothing to scream for. I don't think many defenders really stood out, so I'll say James Justin for the first centre half.
But for my first centre half, I've gone for a Man City one, but I haven't gone for Gahey. I've gone for Kushanov. I think he was excellent. I think he was so good, and he has been so good as well. He's forcing Ruben Diaz out of that team, which you think at the start of the season when Kushanov came in, he wasn't very, very good, to be honest, and he's just improved week on week, and now he's a Premier League starting centre half, and for Manchester City as well, it's a big deal. And then partnering him, I've gone with Virgil van Dijk.
I've gone for Virgil van Dijk. Kept us in the game completely. Solid defending. I think he was caught out for the Beto goal a little bit, but like in the Arne Slot system, that's gonna happen because like the defense is so exposed. Like a man who literally lost his entire knee to that dinosaur in goal for Everton. Like, you can't really blame him. I think his goal was taken brilliantly. As soon as we got that corner, I saw where Virgil was. I knew he was scoring it. Like. As soon as we got 10 minutes added time, because how the news likes to say Liverpool, whenever we score an added time, I just knew it was going to happen.
Then left back, I've gone with Truffer. He scored at the weekend, and when I watched him against Leeds, he was so good. He's solid. He's really, really good, and nothing really got past him, so I've just put Truffer in for that.
I was going to go Truffer, but I wanted to give it to Nico O'Reilly. I think he had a hell of a game against Arsenal. Truffer was amazing, and I can't argue with Truffer, but Nico O'Reilly just... I think he walks into most teams on the planet at the moment. He is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. And two centre mids, I've gone with Morgan Gibbs-White, hat-trick, obviously, has to be in there somewhere. I've gone with him at central midfield, and then Bruno Fernandes at central midfield. As a Leeds fan, it pained me to say, but he's so good. Another assist for him this week, and he's just a light of that Manchester United team, and he pushes them up that league and into third, obviously, now. He's excellent. He's so good, and I'd love to see him leave.
Same. I went for a 4-2-3-1. I went for 2 centre mids. One of them doesn't really work in the position. I've had to kind of like wedge him into the team a bit. I wanted to go Fernandes, but I couldn't ignore Xavi Simons and Gibbs-White. I feel like Gibbs-White on a hat trick. Forest were in the mud without him. I feel like he's going to get a massive move this summer. Like he has to. But like the question is where does he go? Like, honestly, I don't know. We're going to move on. So I've got the wide midfielders. I've gone for Noah Okafor and Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah's had such an off season. Like it's so out of character for him. It feels like he's lost his pace. But I feel like that's been the case since his injury at the AFCON. But I mean, a couple of years ago that one was. But I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna miss him a lot. And I feel like we saw a little bit of a glimpse of the old Mo Salah. And Noah Okafor he's on fire at the moment. And I'll leave you to talk about Noah Okafor.
Yeah, I've got him in, but I've got him in up front. I think he's been very good these last few weeks. Even against Bournemouth, he didn't score, but again, very good. Just running at defenders, he's so positive, which I think you miss really in modern football. I think with Man City, you see with Cherki and Semenyo, they're 2 positive footballers, but we know Okafor for us, I think he's the positive footballer, and he just picks the ball up and just runs. And that's all you can ask from a winger / well, I know he plays striker now, but that's all you can ask. And he's getting his reward for it now. He's been excellent these past few weeks. So yeah, I've got him in up front. I've also got Salah in. I think, again, like you said, I think you saw glimpses of old Salah, last season Salah. I think he were very good out wide for Liverpool against Everton. And then on the other side, I've gone for Ryan Cherki. Again, excellent again this week.
I have Ryan Cherki, but I put him in the cam. I think right now he's the best player in the Premier League. He is just phenomenal. I just like O'Reilly. I think he walks into any team in world football right now. I felt like I written him off when he was at Lyon because I feel like he stayed there too long. I feel like He wasn't. He didn't like offer much like other than his dribbling. His dribbling obviously was like one of the best in the world, even when he was at Lyon. But like, I feel like because he stayed loyal to his boyhood club, which were in the shambles too long, it's just costed him. I mean, he got the move to City. You knew he was going to be good at City. He's a pet player. He's a pet player through and through. Very much screams like young Leo Messi or like Foden when he was coming through before like Pep just ruined him. I think there was obviously a lot of rumours linking him to Liverpool earlier this last season when apparently we had him at the training ground or something. I don't think he would have been as good of a player. I don't think he suited Liverpool. I think he's gone to the right club. He's a case of right player, right club, and I hold my hats out to him. Probably the best player in the world right now, other than like Harry Kane. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and then two strikers I've mentioned. Noah Okafor is one of them, and then my other one's Ollie Watkins, who I think has just hit form recently, which he needs to do for the World Cup. And I think now he does get in front of Calvert-Lewin and Solanke into the World Cup, especially after these last few weeks. He's been very good.
Yeah, both of them were on Merseyside, mate. I can tell you that Ollie Watkins is better than both of them. For striker, I've gone Ollie Watkins. Was it a hat trick or a brace? I don't remember. I think it was brace. Yeah. I think he was phenomenal. He got into the positions at the right time. The crosses in, one of them from McGinn was just phenomenal. I don't know who the other one was off, to be honest, but genuinely, he looked like the old Watkins a bit. I think Watkins has lost a lot of pace over the last few years. I think he's had like a couple of injuries or something that's cost him his pace. But we saw, again, a bit like Sal, we saw a bit of the old Watkins. I think he's competing for that England spot because if Watkins can get on form, it's not even a discussion because the three strikers rivaling him are in the Saudi League, playing for Tottenham Hotspur, and a player who's been rubbish for Everton in the last few years and has just hit form in the Leeds system. So I think I haven't been the biggest fan of Watkins these last few years because he's been off it, yet he still seems to walk into that Villa team. I think they've signed Abraham. I think Abraham's a hell of a player. I think he's going to push him, and he has pushed him, I think. So Harry Kane's back up at the World Cup. I think it's more or less decided now.
Yeah, I agree. And then, right, that's it then. Team of the week's done. Let us know if you think anyone else should be in there in the comments if you can. And then we'll move on to this week's fixtures, give a little prediction, and then round the show off. So first match, we got Wolves versus Spurs. I think Spurs probably do win this one. I just think Wolves were shocking at Ellen Road. Probably the worst team I've seen this season. Just really, really dire. And I think Spurs win that one.
So I think Wolves have nothing to play for. I think we just see lethargic performances from them. I feel like half their players don't really play for the badge at all because the badge hasn't offered them much at all. Like they've had little to no backing. The January transfer strategy just seemed to show defeat, like a mid defeat, like selling your big striker and then bringing in Adam Armstrong. Like, I understand it. Like, they weren't staying up, but like, at least show some ambition. So I think Spurs need a win. I think Spurs will hammer them. To be honest, I think it'll be like 3 or 4-0.
Yeah,
but I mean, my mate's a Wolves fan. If he sees this, he'll murder me if they win.
Yeah, same. Gibbs. Shout out Gibbs. Hopefully, good luck in the Championship.
All right, Jake. Good luck in the Championship, mate. I don't know. Spurs win, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. And then next up, Liverpool.
Palace. Liverpool Palace. I hate playing Palace. We never beat Palace. I think we'll beat them because I feel like they just don't have that spark anymore. I feel like since they lost Eze, I feel like they've been a bit. I know we've lost to them since they lost Eze, but we haven't played them since they lost Gahey. Their defense isn't the same because Gahey kind of brought that defense together. Because Lacroix doesn't have the freedom to go do the runs he used to, and Chris Richards is not as good as a defender as the Americans seem to think he is. But I think it'll be a very good game. I could see both teams scoring. I'd say 3-2 Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool win this one. I don't think it'll be as close as you think as well. I think you're being a bit pessimistic. I do think you'll win by 2 or 3. I just think Palace are bang mid-table, and I don't think they're really going for Europe. I know they can get Europe, but I think there's much better sides that are going to be up there rather than Palace. So I do think you'll get the win there by a few.
Then with Europe's kind of more mathematically versus realistically. So.
Yeah. And then Arsenal-Newcastle. I think Arsenal will win, but I think it's a very, very, very difficult game, and I think as in recent years we've seen Newcastle against Arsenal. It's a stumbling block for Arsenal, and maybe with losing to Man City last weekend, the confidence is absolutely gone. And maybe obviously all the news from the media and the players will hear it. It might do them a bit, but I do think they might just get over the line. But I won't be surprised if a draw.
What stadium's it at?
Emirates.
Arsenal win. I think Newcastle just don't look like a team at the moment. Like I saw a Newcastle fan talking about this. I feel like their fans have become their own worst enemy. There's Nick Voltemade. I think he's a hell of a player. I think he struggled to adapt to the league, and because of how much money they spent on him, and it's kind of like baby's first big signing with Newcastle, because obviously they had Isaac, but Isaac kind of hit the ground running instantly, like not to the levels he was at his last season at Newcastle, but even when he was on the wing, when he had Callum Wilson, Isaac was still kind of one of their best players. Because Voltemade didn't hit the ground running instantly, the fans were like, he's not good enough, let's move him into midfield. You've moved him into midfield and he just looks clueless. You're playing a 6'7" striker as a deep line playmaker. What on earth are you doing? Like, they can't hold the ball up anymore because Johan Visser just seems to have forgotten how to kick a football correctly. And Anthony Gordon's not a striker. Like, you're playing a guy who at most could probably scrape a false nine role as like a target man. It's not going to work. Like, if you're going to play a target man, play the 6'7" striker. Like, I don't know. I think if it's because at the Emirates, I think 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. Moving on, West Ham, Everton. I do think Everton will win it. I know it's a bold prediction with West Ham being at home and fighting for relegation, but I do think it's just a match that Everton win. And I think you've seen it all season. Everton win these type of games, but I don't think it'll be an easy game. I'm going to 1-0 Everton. I think.
I'm being honest here. I don't know. I think I know a lot about Everton. I have a lot of my close mates are Everton fans, and from what they've told me, they seem to struggle near the back end of the season. You obviously got David Moyes against one of his favourite clubs. Obviously, the club he won his only trophy at. I think I think emotions might get the better of him. I don't see him celebrating if they score. But I feel like West Ham's a team Everton will struggle against because it's kind of like the masters of what they're good at, which is just sitting back defending, making the fans sleep on the sofa at home sort of football. I don't know. I think it'll be a draw. But if not, I think Everton. I think West Ham have the quality up front to beat them. But it depends if they show up.
Yeah. Fulham versus Villa. I think Villa win. I think after last week with Sunderland, because Sunderland are a difficult team. You've seen it all season, and to get a last-minute winner, I think it does wonders for the confidence, and then pushing them further up into them European places, basically probably secured now. I think they'll want to finish the season strongly, and I think they'll beat Fulham away.
I think Villa will win, but I think it'll be close. I think Villa defensively look atrocious these last few weeks. Like, I know Sunderland are an absolute beast this season, but since Liverpool ended their unbeaten streak a couple of weeks ago, about a month or two ago now, I feel like they haven't looked the same. I think that was what was keeping them going, the confidence of the fact that we've been promoted for the first time since 2016 to the Premier League, and we're doing so well. Let's keep this going. That was their motivation. And now there's talks about them sacking Régis Lebris for not getting Europe. Like, what? Like, if you do that, you're just dooming yourself for relegation next year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you look online and all the fans are like, there's absolutely no way they can do that. I think they'd lose the fan base if they do that. Because he's excellent. He's been excellent for him in Championship, bringing the players in that he wanted. You know, your Isidore, your Lefay, French players like himself. I think he made very, very good decisions there. And when they were at Leeds, and then when we went away, they were very good as well last season. And I think they've kicked on this season, been brilliant in market. And I think it'd be so silly to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing is the fact that he was Lorient B's manager for 10 years. He leaves to go Sunderland. Like, it was a controversial appointment at first. Like, what ambition was signing a mid-table French team's B team manager? But just like, I think he's class. I think he'll be at a top job in a couple of years. See him maybe back in France, but I can't see Enrique going anywhere. For PSG is the only job he'd take.
Yeah, and then obviously speaking about Sunderland, they've got Forest. I think it's this is the game this week where it just could go either way. I think Forest obviously fighting and then been very good last week, all giving it were Burnley, but it's a confidence boost for them, and they need to climb as well to get out of that relegation battle. But Sunderland have been so good at home. I think it's got a draw written all over this one.
I think Sunderland are going to tear them apart. I think my money's on Forest to go down. I think, honestly, I don't see Spurs going down. I can't fathom it. Like, I want Spurs to go down. Like, I'll tell you that. I think it'd be hilarious. I think I'd love Archie Gray at Liverpool, and it'd make him easier to come to Liverpool if he goes down. So, praying. I mean, I'm sure you can tell. You can talk all day about Archie Gray.
Yeah, I love him back in. As probably as unrealistic it is.
You can probably get him on loan.
Yeah,
like, realistically, you could probably get him on loan if Spurs go down.
Yeah, maybe.
He does love Spurs.
I just think if Liverpool come in, as a Leeds fan, I'd love him back. But I think if Liverpool do come in, I think it'd be good for him to go there and play with the best, some of the best players in the league. And it'll just improve him more than probably coming here with us. Yeah. But I would love him back. But I do see if he went to Liverpool, it'd be very good move for him. I just don't want to see him at Manchester United or Chelsea. It'd be awful.
I can't see him at either of them. I can't see him at Chelsea because I don't think he'd go from Spurs to Chelsea. I don't think he's the type to go to a rival. And he wouldn't go United. He's a loyal Leeds fan. It's like when Calvin Phillips was asked, United are interested in you. Why don't you go? Because I'm a Leeds fan, you helmet. It's like, it's simple.
Yeah.
Like, of course. What? It's like asking Anthony Gordon, why did he hate Everton? Because he's a Liverpool fan, obviously. But anyway. I think Forest will lose. I think this will be when they go into the relegation zone, and I don't think they'll come out of it.
Fair enough. And obviously just finishing up with the Cup, seeing as those 3 Premier League teams, and then Southampton, who could be a Premier League team next year, which I think they will. I think they'll win the playoffs. I think they'll look very good. I think they're looking better than your whoever else who's going to end up in the playoffs. I think they will go up. And they've got Man City, which I do think Man City will just annihilate them. They're not there. They're not there. And I think it'll be 4-5-0 at Wembley, to be honest.
Yeah, seems about right. What's the other games at Chelsea?
Chelsea. Who is it?
Oh my God.
Who's at Wembley? Leeds.
Oh, how'd you forget that? Your teammate?
I know. I already been sarcastic there.
You'll win that.
Chelsea Leeds on Sunday.
You'll win that.
Well, last time, right? I've got an idea. Leeds are going to lose. What happened the last time I said Leeds were going to lose? We beat Man United. Leeds are going to lose.
Leeds are going to lose.
We're going to lose.
Honestly, I think it'll be like 7-0. You'll lose, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Honestly, I feel like Chelsea are in a shamble right now. And I feel like they're weak to a counter-attack. That's your entire philosophy. That's like your entire thing is your counter-attacking. Well, like, that's a mess.
The worrying thing is with Leeds at Wembley, they're awful, properly awful.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a very pressurised situation, especially with that many Leeds fans going down. And I've seen this morning Chelsea's still trying to sell the tickets because they haven't sold out their allocation yet.
Are you going to it?
No, I'm not. I'll go to the final if we get to the final. It's just a lot of money to get down there for a semi-final. And if we lose, it's going to be a heartbreak. But if we go to a final and we lose, it's what an achievement. But
you still got to a final. Right.
Yeah, respect. Exactly. Chelsea win, I think.
I want to say Chelsea win just because of what you've said. Like, I'm rooting for Leeds because I think I told you in the past I've got a soft spot for Leeds family. Who I were fond of. So I'll just say that. Not with us. But I feel like Leeds are a club on the up. I'm not necessarily a partaker in the Leeds banter because I like that's that guy. As much as I found that guy who submit that request onto the radio for his friend Elland Road, that was pretty funny.
It did well there, to be fair to him.
That was funny. But no, I quite like Leeds. They're a club I'd like to see back at the top. So I'm not just saying that because you're my mate, but like in general, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the clubs at the top at the moment. I used to be a fan of Villa. I feel like Gerrard built the momentum, and then they brought in like just a top manager because I feel like Gerrard kept them up. He took them from relegation zone to mid-table. That's quite a good job. Brought up Ramsey, who I thought like should have got a lot more time. I feel like he's a very good player. He doesn't seem to be doing too well at Newcastle, but I think he's a solid player. But I don't like the way the fans act, and I don't like the way the club's ran. There's a reason why they're up against the wall of FFP every season, because they're peeing money up the wall on re-signing every player. It's like they're running the club based on nostalgia from 2 years ago. Like they've re-signed Douglas Luiz, they've re-signed Tammy Abraham. Like I get why you needed a striker, but you can't just keep re-signing your old players. It gets to a point where you got to admit there's a reason why they're not here.
Yeah. And I agree with what you said, where you're having a soft spot for Leeds, because I think a lot of Leeds fans do have a soft spot for Liverpool as well. Me, certainly. When we went up in 2020, you won the league. When we went up last season, you won the league. So it's like conjoined a bit.
Yeah, I remember that. I was thinking like, I was in college, I was in a film course, and I was asked, who do you think's coming up? I had a dead set Sunderland for the playoffs for the entire season, and that was proven right. Like I called it like 8 months before it happened, but that was also because I wanted to see Sunderland up. But the entire season, I was like, we're winning the league, Leeds are coming up.
Yeah,
like you just had to. I'd also add I'm not the biggest fan of Burnley, so it might have just been him.
They're a bit just like a meh club, aren't they? No one really cares too much about them. No one really likes them too much.
I like Sean Dyche there, but as soon as Sean Dyche got sacked, it's like, cool, I'm never going to care about Burnley again.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I think that's was basically done, isn't it, for today?
Yeah. We said we didn't want to make it a 40-minute video. It's 30 seconds off 50.
Exactly. So, well done. We'll see you all next week anyway. Thank you for coming in. If you're watching on YouTube, we're also on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, we're on YouTube as well. But yeah, thank you for coming in. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bottlers again, ole ole.